Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show. This is Armando, and I'm with Haley Dawn.
Hey, how was your Easter?
Wow.
Busy weekend?
It was so busy, I still have confetti eggs.
Okay.
We're waiting to bust those after the fact. It'll be awkward in our front yard.
You know, I don't celebrate Easter, but last year I went to a friend's house and they had the confetti eggs, and I'm still finding confetti in my house from those eggs last year.
You can put them on your patio and it'll do the same thing, yeah. A lot of fun. We had a great time. And we did a lot of stuff here in the local community, just messing around, having some fun. And we did meet a lot of new folks. And so we have a cool show lined up.
We do, yeah.
We have the Texas, the Rage Room. Let me make sure I got this right. So we've got Texas Rage Asylum. Texas Rage Asylum coming in today.
If you're feeling some rage, this is the place for you to go. But we'll get into that.
And that's coming up.
Yeah,
She'll tell you to wreck stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's coming, and there's a lot to that. Also, we have the 8 National Talent Competition, and they have a show coming up here at the Lone Star Convention Center, I believe. She's here in the studio now to tell us all about that. So it is 8nationaltalent.com, and we have Heather here in the studio with us today. Let's get the show started.
Yeah, let's do it.
Heather, welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Texas Ticket Show.
Hey.
I'll use the big voice.
Yeah.
The Texas Ticket Show.
Well, tell us a little bit about, what you have and what you guys offer.
Sure. So I'm Heather Nicholas. I co-own 8 National Talent and Motivate Dance Convention with my dad, Rick Ferguson, and we're in season 11, actually, which is crazy. Wow. It flies by. Yes. Yeah. But we've always been in the dance world. My parents owned a dance studio for about 30 years, and we overlapped for a few of those. That was quite a bit, though, teaching every day and traveling every weekend doing 8 National Talent. So they sold about 7 years ago, and we started doing just these events, and they're super fun.
I love that. So did you start it here? Was the studio that your parents had here in Conroe, or where was that studio?
Actually, they started off in Kingwood and then moved over to Atascocita, so just about an hour from here.
Okay.
But we all live now in Montgomery, and we actually moved here about 2 years ago and getting all settled in and learning all the local things slowly but surely. But we're loving it.
I love that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the competition and how that works. So there's studios that sign up and then their dancers come compete, or...
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So lots of studios in the Houston area. So we pretty much stay Texas-based. We go to Louisiana, Beaumont. Sometimes we go to Oklahoma, but we do 3, actually, including nationals, we do 4 in the Houston area. And then we do Dallas, Austin, because there's so many dance studios just right here close that we don't feel like we need to travel all over the world, know, and we like to keep it close and kind of a tight-knit group with all of our directors and everything. And so I like to know them all and talk to them all. So we host about 12 events a year. And different studios will bring their teams, and we've got different age groups, different levels that they can sign up for their competition. And then they go on our stage, and it's a blast.
I love that.
Where do the kids go to work with you to start getting ready? Where's the prep happen at?
So they're going to be prepping at their own studio, but we do, at the beginning of each session, we actually have a little warm-up and judges tips that we offer. I know something with my students, because I directed the program at our studio for about 18 years, and something that all of my kids would always ask me backstage is, what does the floor feel like? Or, are the judges scary? Things like that. And so when developing 8 National Talent, I wanted to develop some of the things that I felt were a little bit more personalized. And so at the beginning of each session, we actually do let the kids come out onto the floor. The judges lead a warm-up for all of them. It's kind of just like a get your blood flowing kind of warm-up. It's about 10 minutes long. Then they give judges tips. So they'll kind of give them some pointers that they look for when they're judging. And the kids feel a lot more comfortable and confident before they're actually about to take the stage.
Yeah. As somebody who competitively danced for over 15 years, I never had an experience like that. So that's very unique and different. And I think that would have calmed a lot of my nerves and my fellow peers' nerves, like just being able to, like you said, feel the floor and kind of know what to expect and then see the judges and kind of hear what they have to offer. So I think that's really unique. I love that.
Thank you.
Sure. And we're expecting to see you the 16th and the 17th at the Lone Star Convention Center.
Yes, we will be actually 16th through 18th. It's a 3-day event.
18th.
It is free to families and public, which I think is really great too, because that way moms and dads and aunts and uncles and everybody can come support the dancers. The more in the audience, the better. And we would love to have, the whole area of Conroe and Montgomery out there cheering on these kids. They work really, really hard to prepare. So if we can fill up that audience, that would be amazing. So like I said, it's free. We've got one at the Lone Star Convention Center, and then we actually have a Margaritaville Nationals coming up in June. So
really?
That's really fun too. And we do our convention at Margaritaville in February every year. So
In Conroe, Margaritaville?
Yes, the Conroe Margaritaville. So just right down the
They
street.
have a few of those. I kind of knew that, but I don't know. I get tunnel visioned into local and just this is what we can do. This is where we can help, and this is where I can go.
I want to say we're on year 5 at Margaritaville for our regionals, and I believe it's year 6 for our nationals. So we've gone back every year, and the kids really like it. And some of them come every year to that same event, just keep it tradition.
Tell me about the Motivate.
Okay, so Motivate is similar to 8, but instead of having the levels in the competition like 8, we have one level. So it's a convention level. So it's all pretty much at the advanced level. But they also get 12 classes during the weekend as well from choreographers and teachers from all over. So some of our regulars come from Atlanta, New York, Kansas City, LA, all over the place. And they bring, different styles to teach the kids. And so they dance pretty much all day on Saturday and Sunday. And then we have competition on Friday, Saturday, and then a big showcase on Sunday.
Do they pick their own songs?
The teachers? Yes.
The competitors.
The competitors, it's kind of up to them what they're going to compete to. Some of the kids have some song suggestions for their teachers. Some of the choreographers will suggest some to the kids.
I would think they do. I would be
it's
all
important
like,
for them to really love their song.
This one song really good. It's like, yeah, okay. But I do watch. I lately have been watching a lot of competitive dance, but I get real into the grit street side, and I think it's because I'm a guy. I don't know. Maybe it's just that rugged dance style where
Like the
they're
breakdance style more so?
well, they're kind of, but they're like, it's just raw. It seems real street, not really choreographed. No one's they're not all in uniforms and, but they're choreographed together to some effect.
So we actually have an improv challenge, which is very similar to what you're talking about. So in addition to competing their solos, duets, trios, group dances, they can actually sign up for our improv challenge. And that's also divided out by age group. So we've got our petite age group, which is 8 and under. And then the juniors are 9 to 11, teens are 12 to 14, and seniors are 15 and over. And then we will just throw any kind of genre at them. It's super fun. So sometimes we'll have 60 kids that sign up for this improv challenge, and we work our way all the way to the improv champion. And they'll have different genres from lyrical to jazz to contemporary, hip hop, musical theater. We'll throw all different types of music at them. And so they don't know what they're going to be dancing to. And it's super impressive with what they pull together. And some kids will do it, if they're hip hoppers, they'll do the whole thing, in their hip hop attire. Or we've even had tappers do the improv challenge. And it's pretty cool how creative they get.
Have you ever seen The Kings of Comedy?
No.
Never seen the show The Kings. It's a comedy hour. D.L. Hughley. There's a host of comedians that do this, right? And their first one was their best. But they talk about. I don't remember which comedian brought it up, but he talks about in my day when we went to the club and some guy gave us the look and they wanted to get down and we were going to fight. It was on. It was on. And he's like, but we didn't actually fight. We breakdanced because we're breakdancers, and then they would talk about how this competitive. And I flash back to the old days, like Reese's Club out on 1960 and some other clubs that were real big into this. And I remember them throwing cardboard down and going at each other. They would put a big giant piece of cardboard they brought with them. Yeah. What is going on? And it was the coolest thing I ever saw. The old Kid and Play, where they were just working together. It was just so. I don't even know if they choreographed. They just flowed. It just worked like that. Have you ever really been blown away? Not necessarily Herbie Hancock, but, when you went to one of these where just somebody just came out of the, wow.
Oh, absolutely. We've got some great talent that hits our stage. There's a ton of talent in Texas just in general. There's a lot of great studios out there, and they all have their own style, which is really cool. It keeps it keeps it really interesting and a huge variety for the audience. So I always, I think it's really cool for our audience to get to experience that. But there's some pretty amazing technicians. Actually, one of the kids that was on our stage, she grew up on our stage for about 8 years. She ended up going off to Juilliard, and she couldn't wait to tell me that she was in the final round just a couple years ago in Austin. She said, guess what, Miss Heather? She's like, this is so crazy. This is my last time to be on the 8th stage, but I made it to the final, I think it was the final 24 of the girls, because they only take, 12 girls and 12 boys each year at Juilliard, and she got in, and she's incredible. And she would, but this girl was incredible at ballet, but she also, you would never know she was a ballerina by the way that she would hip hop or the way that she would do the improv challenge. It's really neat how many of them you really can't label because they're just so versatile and so talented.
What about ballroom dancing? Do you see any of that or offer any of that?
We don't have as much ballroom, but I will say it's starting to take an interest on our stage. We actually had some country dancing in Dallas this year, which was so cute. Cool. Yeah, there's a big team out in the Waxahachie area, and they have a lot of boys and girls that sign up for their program, and they are fully in their cowboy hats and boots, and they're so cute.
Love that.
And they're grinning ear to ear. They love it. And I think, they don't have a ton of rehearsal, but it was impressive with, how much they got together for the stage.
A little swing / salsa / this kind of thing that I think is just some raw Texan. Everybody's like, oh, well, tell me about Texas. There was all these people coming over the border. I'm like, well, Texas was Mexico. And, when you said local, you brought up Louisiana. That's the Louisiana land purchase. That's where we came together. We were brought in together. We were part of this together. So we, in our induction to the United States, Texas came with Louisiana. And so it seems like everything we do, we kind of do together. You brought it up synonymously, like they were brothers, and I think we are, and I feel that with Louisiana a lot. And I think a lot of people bring in Gulf Coast and stop there, but the Gulf Coast actually includes a little bit more, all the way to Gulf Shores, I think, which we would regard as Gulf of America.
We've actually hosted a competition in Gulf Shores, believe it or not.
Did you? It's
yes.
a beautiful place.
And we were going to make it a surprise that we're going back next summer. So I might as well release it now.
Oh, wow. It's
yes,
fabulous.
it's so fun out there. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
So we'll be back in
it's a
2026.
hop to Pensacola. I would put that in your agenda somewhere. You can have
they're super close together, but it is
like
really amazing how
minutes.
different they are.
20, 30 minutes, drive over to Pensacola Beach. You can't not go there. Pensacola is special. I don't know. It's so weird. You take that bridge, you go in there, and it's like where you on the beach. Nobody's not on the beach.
Yeah, it's
it's two sides to this peninsula. It kind of reminds me a little bit of South Padre, but you can go to a lot of different places down there. Super fun. And Gulf Shores, everybody talked about how cool the beaches were, and when I was down there, everything was true. The sugar sand. It's
well,
so
when you're at a dance
fine.
competition, you don't have much time to go to the beach.
Oh, I know.
Although you should try.
Some of the
good reason
directors
to-
are like, please don't get super burnt before you go on stage.
Great
Oh,
reason
yeah,
to go and venture and travel into the area to go visit you at the Gulf Shore Show, and I'm sure all the competitors are really excited about hearing that just now.
Yes.
But what a blast and what a great area all the way down the I-10 corridor. It's a lot of fun, and you mentioned several stops along the way. And so, how many times have you done it here in Conroe?
Let's see, for this season, we were in Margaritaville in February. We'll be at Lone Star in just a couple weeks. We'll be back at Margaritaville in June. So we're there 3 times this year. Last year,
wow.
Same thing, 3 times. The year before, 3 times. And then before we started going to Margaritaville, we were actually at Lone Star a couple years before that. So we've been several times to these local venues, and they're always really great to work with.
Is it open to the public to come watch and
Yes,
hang out?
it's free. I hope
it's
to
a
see
free
you there.
event. Yeah, that's what you said. Okay. And this is May 16th through May 18th, and 18th is a Sunday, just so everybody knows.
Yes.
So, and that's 8 to 8 on Sunday, and you can come on Friday from 4 to 10, it says.
Yes.
What happens Friday? Tell me about Friday.
Friday's a pretty much full day of solos for the teens. So they're going to range from 12 to 14. We'll start with our novice level. We call that our Count It level. And then we go into Dance It, which is intermediate. And then Live It is the elite level. So it'll be a straight shot of about 6 hours of solos. And then we'll wrap up with duets and trios. And then the awards for all of those dancers will be that evening.
Okay. And a solo means a single person is dancing by
You're on
themselves.
stage
to
all
some
by
music.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
How long does this, one song, 2-3 minutes?
About the limit is 2.5, so most solos will be around that 2:15 to 2:30 mark.
Okay.
Some of the younger ones are a little shorter than the older dancers, but about 2 to 2.5 minutes.
And the any montages like for the duos and trios, or do you just do one song the whole way through?
Oh, there's a variety. Sometimes people will do mixes. They'll have kind of like a Missy mix or a, some sort of mashup.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I like
yeah.
Missy, so I'll just throw that
You
one.
mean Missy Misdemeanor Elliott?
Or like Justin Timberlake mix. If I
when you say
We're throwing in
Missy,
our favorites.
You mean Missy Misdemeanor Elliott?
Well, yeah, of course. What other Missy?
I don't know. I want to make sure everybody knows what we're talking about, and I know what you're talking about. But yeah,
we'll have
that's
some
super
mixes
fun.
or just straight through songs. Either one is fine.
That's
so
great.
they'll upload their music and it'll all be in our computer ready to go. And
That's
All right,
That's a
so
surprise
what about,
guest.
so Friday is the solos, and then you're finishing up with duets and trios, and then Saturday is...
Saturday we start with the mini solos, so 5 and under.
Okay.
Super fun and cute.
The 5 and under.
And
Okay,
then-
wait, hang on. Now,
Yeah.
Saturday, May 17th at the Lone Star Convention starts at 8 a.m. So when do we get to catch these?
Actually, I think we're starting at 7 a.m. I believe
What
it's
the-
a little bigger than we thought it was going to be. So 7 a.m. I know we need to let them know that
What
probably.
happens at 7?
The 5 and unders. They're going to start off the day with a lot of rhinestones and a lot of energy. They are so cute, and they're going to own the stage. I promise you.
Those are the best.
So we do start with the little ones, and then during that same session, we'll do the 6 to 8 year olds as well.
Okay.
And also their duets and trios. Then we'll have an award session after what we call session 2, and then we'll go into all of the mini, petite, and junior groups. So a small group is going to be 4 to 9 dancers. A large group is 10 to 18 dancers.
Ooh, wow, that'd
We've
be
got
cool.
lines that are like 19 and over dancers, and then productions are super fun. They're that's where you're going to get your montages of music. So like we had one the other day that was Harry Potter. We had another one that was Toy Story. We've had Grease. We've
did
had all
Grease.
kinds of. We did Grease too in my
I
old
loved
studio.
it so
was
much.
fun.
I was a boy. I was a
Grease Lightning.
Yep.
Oh,
I had
nice.
to wear a little
real slide.
the shirt, and my mom braided my hair real tight, so I looked like a boy. Although I had lipstick on, so it's
Right. That's what's always, and probably still the huge rhinestone earrings, right?
absolutely yes, absolutely.
I love that. Yeah. So the productions are really cool. That's one of my favorite things to watch because there's so much creativity, and you can tell so much rehearsal time that goes into it. I know when I used to do the production rehearsals.
And props too.
those were
we
some
were making our own
intense rehearsal
props. We
hours.
were painting the car for Grease, the red car. We
They
were
got the
doing-
dancers involved at your studio.
Oh
That's
my
good. Not
gosh,
just the
yeah.
prop dads,
No,
huh?
yeah, we were everywhere.
I just keep thinking about choreographing all the kids together to do something, and it seems to me that'd be really hard to do, like group choreographed dance.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like synchronized swimming. It's like this. I don't know. It's so weird to me. It's like really.
Yeah.
So if you mess up, we all look bad. Yeah.
Yes.
So lots of practice.
The groups are fun to watch. There's a lot of really great choreography.
Do the
out
little
there.
kids do that? The
Oh,
5 and
absolutely.
unders?
Oh yes.
How's that go?
Oh, it goes great. Because no matter what, it's so fun. I mean, they may or may not be doing the same moves, and that's okay. They
They
look
may be
adorable.
standing there waving at their mom,
Yes.
looking out, like, trying to find their
And I'm over in the
family.
bleachers.
Exactly.
Dad's so
gosh.
proud.
And they get all the memories because we actually give free pictures and videos of our events as well. So it's free live stream. So if somebody can't make it to the free in-house show, we have free live stream. And then also the dancers get all of their videos and pictures for free from the stage too. So it's just something that we offer in
Fantastic.
addition to it. So
And we
they'll have
do-
all those memories from all their 5 and under dances when they graduate high school. They
Great.
can look back on
We
them.
do free pictures and videos here too.
Yeah. Just one. Though. Just one free
Just
photo.
one. You got one.
One photo.
One photo.
Better than none.
Right.
I don't know. What else are we going to do?
So you were saying that you have older groups that dance, right? Is that going to be included this weekend? I know you said you
Oh,
have
like
some
adult groups.
Yeah.
So this weekend we're in Fort Worth, and we actually do have a really incredible adult group that comes every year. It's a hip hop studio. They're based out of Plano. It's called Fenton's, and they come to our Fort Worth event and our nationals every year. And they have an adult group that is actually amazing. It's
Oh,
a group
I'd love
of
to see
most of
that.
them are moms, but sometimes they'll have some guys in there too. But you can tell that they rehearse so hard.
Can we
They're
watch
so
this
good.
on your website?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's number 8, right? So
Yeah, the number 8,
8
National
and then
Talent.
nationaltalent.com. So you can go and we can see that event. Mm-hmm.
You can pull it up from the website. Just
Looks
hit the
good.
live stream link, or you can actually go to an app called Dakiki. It's kind of a weird word. It's Dakiki. You can follow along in the whole schedule there, and then also that's where the kids will find their pictures and videos. But that's also another link to the live stream.
It's like French. Do you like
Dakiki.
delight? Dakiki.
Yeah, we had, oh my gosh, I'm just thinking like in my mom's basement, she probably has like a box of just all of my old just CDs or DVDs of me dancing and just.
We'll share some of those.
No.
No, we won't be sharing that.
Oh,
We won't
man.
be sharing that. There won't be any
She
links
won't.
below.
She won't. Probably wouldn't even be able to find it. But
It's hard to find a DVD player these days to play them on.
know.
My kids want to watch all my old ones too, and I'm like, oh, we don't have a DVD player.
shoot, we can't do that.
You know,
All right. So tell us what your favorite style of dance is to dance and to teach.
Okay, that's tough because over the years things have definitely changed, and that's what I love most about dance is that it's constantly evolving. You're never going to reach your peak ever.
Right.
So I would say growing up, probably jazz and lyrical, but then contemporary kind of became a thing when I lived out in Los Angeles and I was dancing. And so I would say now probably my favorite to choreograph and teach would be contemporary, but I do love to just pop into a good old school lyrical class here and there. And actually I took one of our teachers that came out from LA. Her class at our Margaritaville convention. Unfortunately, broke my toe in her class, but I was killing it, you know. I was like, if we're going to be in here, we're going to be full out. And I was like, oh, man.
dance injuries.
The dance injuries sometimes are there,
Dang.
but that's okay. But yeah, I love everything. I really like taking hip hop. I don't teach it, and tap is not anything I've ever taught except for like beginning tap. But jazz, lyrical, contemporary are kind of my main.
So let's dip into your family a little bit. You have 6 kids.
I do have 6 kids.
One set of twins.
Yes.
And they're all going to school out in this area now?
So so there's kind of a variety. So
Yeah,
Callie,
okay.
my oldest, she should be a junior, but she decided to graduate early. She goes to Legacy Oaks off of 1488, and she's going to go off to Missouri State, which is kind of far.
Aw.
Eli also goes to Legacy Oaks with her. He's a sophomore. And then Ty goes to Magnolia High School. He plays basketball there. Yeah, Bulldogs. And then my twins currently go to Bear Branch Junior High.
Okay.
Ruby is a cheerleader. Isla was involved at the school too. She played basketball and was the high jump district champ last year. But she's my dancer. So ballet was a little bit more bigger schedule, I would say, for this year. So she wasn't able to run track this year. But she'll be going to the High School of Performing and Visual Arts downtown next year. So we'll be driving out there. And then Ruby will be a cheerleader at Magnolia High
long
School.
drive out
And the
there.
baby's at the brand new Audubon Elementary for kindergarten. So he's the boss, obviously.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
runs
yeah.
the show.
So
Does he
that's the
dance?
crew. He loves to break dance. And he will actually, he has friends on every team because whenever he comes, he's like, I got to work. So he goes on stage for all the awards. So he knows the wobble, he knows the Macarena, the cha-cha slide, all of them.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And so the other day we were actually at one of the local karaoke places here. He likes to go sing there too. But after he was done singing all his favorite songs, he started requesting songs that he wanted to dance to.
should've
And he had
brought
the
him in
whole
today.
group up doing the wobble.
Dang.
I was like, okay, Case.
Motivational.
He is.
And tell me about your husband. You know, he if you and him, personal question. You can take this up, but you know, if you and him go to dinner, and you know, hey, I'd like to dance
By ourselves?
Yeah. When this happens, we're imagination world.
Okay, imagination world. I bet.
Yeah, and this favorite song of yours is playing, and you really want to dance to it. What song is it?
Ooh. Okay, it's been a really long time since we've gone to dinner, just the two of us. I'm going to be really honest.
What would you like to dance
We're
on
a
a
little
personal
overdue on
note?
that.
Really? I mean,
Well,
what's your
we had like a Bon Jovi wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
You had a Bon Jovi wedding.
Yeah, our song was Always.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We just
I was going
decided.
to go through some other titles, and I went, good. It wasn't. There, none of them would fit as good as that one did. I just went through like 6 titles. You can't
But-
say that.
Goodness, we would dance to everything. We actually kind of have a funny story from our very, very first date. We had gone to this place and they were playing music, and some guy came up to us and he just kept like hitting on his. He was like, "I'm a club kid at heart. I'm a club kid at heart." And so we had to get up and dance with this guy. But I'm pretty sure that was rap music. But I mean, my go-to karaoke is always Gangster's Paradise. Like no doubt.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Can
Chris does not dance. He is he is fully in the pharmaceuticals
He doesn't
world,
dance?
and no,
Okay.
not at
It's
all.
not even like slow dance, a little Lionel Richie maybe.
No, he can do like the go fish thing, you know, and the shopping kind of dancing.
Oh, yeah.
But
Okay.
And like the sprinkler and
the sprinkler, he can
this.
he can
My
really
dad
do the
can
sprinkler.
that too.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's Chris's dancing.
okay.
We're a little different when it comes to that, but opposites
Okay.
attract, right?
Yeah. So did you choreograph a dance like for your wedding, or you kind of just?
No, I did not. We just went with it.
Yeah.
Just danced
What was playing?
normal dance.
Remember some of the songs that y'all danced together too?
Well, Always was like our
Always?
song,
That's the
and then
one.
I
Okay.
think me and my dad danced to These 5 Words
Oh
one.
yeah. Okay.
And I don't know, we just told him to play all the
Yeah.
all the Bon
dances.
Jovi things. And I said, just as long as you don't play the chicken dance, I'm good.
No. Wow. No.
Just don't put that on the playlist.
No.
And then one of his 5 sisters. My husband is the youngest of 8. I'm an only child, and then we have 6. So it's like there's a lot of different things. But one of his sisters did request the chicken dance, believe it or not.
Did they play it?
They did. But I went over and I was like, that was on the do not
Absolutely
playlist,
not.
you know?
Yeah.
And the 5 don't you dare playlist. Just
And we knew she was coming.
I'm just kidding. Hope she's listening.
You ruined the whole day. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's it. It's a fun dance. You're fine.
We had a good time. But yeah, no, we don't make it out just the 2 of us often.
That don't know how to dance and don't have a mother like you that is all about it, right? And so you're teaching them. I guess they weren't there for that. Maybe. Anyway, but there's a lot of dance.
It's a lot of dance.
It's a lot of dance.
There's a lot of dances on the weekend. We cram a lot of them in there, and
Yeah,
it's
and you were
fun.
talking about folkloric dance earlier. So
Folkloric? That's not in a dictionary.
Tell us about
bad
tell us about what that
grammatics.
is that
There's a few studios out there that bring a lot of folkloric to our stage, and it's beautiful. Their costumes are always, fully beaded and rhinestoned up, and they're gorgeous. And sometimes they'll have a prop, like there's, sometimes butterfly type feel to it or different things, but they always have a very solid ballet base, I feel like.
Okay.
But there are a few studios actually in the Houston area that offer folkloric. So
What is
it's
that?
pretty
Define
yeah,
folkloric.
Well, you're going to have to sign up for a class to fully find out, I think.
Is it like era, like 16th century stuff? Or
I feel like there's a lot
clogging,
of intricate arm movements, like they do a
Okay.
lot of, you can see their ballet technique in their legs and feet for sure. That's kind of what I've been trained to do. I'm always like, okay,
Yeah.
you can tell a dancer by their feet, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know that because you grew up in the dance background as well. But I do always feel like they have very solid foundation in their technique. But the dances always seem to have a lot of arm movements and very intricate hand movements and stuff. And I don't know, it's very flowy and beautiful.
Is it-
Everybody
Like
always
big skirts
loves it.
and,
Yeah,
like-
big skirts.
Okay.
Is folkloric more like folk music based? Is that what folkloric
It's
means?
kind of chill music normally. I don't know how to describe it fully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
have to
can't
do
sing
a
it
little bit
because
more-
there's no words. Not that you want me to sing anyway.
I
but-
didn't think it wasn't a word before, now it is. You know what a cryptozoologist is?
No.
Do you know
That's
what a cryptozoologist is?
No, because that's not a style of dance for sure.
No.
Definitely not.
Well, it was a word I learned over the weekend. It is a zoologist who studies animals that don't exist.
Okay.
Kind of like
How does
folklore.
one even find out that that's a thing?
Yeah. How do you
It's
study
some major
something that doesn't
universities teach it. It's like Bigfoot, abominable snowman,
Okay.
and then they study the history of the origins of this story. So it's another word that I just thought was odd, right? And so folkloric music, it seems
Same
to
thing
me
as zoo.
like it's folk-ish, which I don't know. I'm trying to put together how that even came to pass or what I might expect if I went to see folkloric
What is
dancers.
the origin? Is there
Is there something
is it
to
like
it?
a main or like it or originates in a specific
Yeah, I would definitely say it's like more Asian based.
Asian? Okay.
For sure.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Beautiful though.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up.
It
because
is. I
I'm
want to look it
very
up
curious.
too. I'm like, I've been all day long. That word's been haunting me.
Some
I'm
of
like,
the
what
studios
is
that I
this
know that
word?
offer those programs, OAEC is one that's in the
Okay.
Houston area. Golden Peacock School of Dance. They've brought some things to our
That's
events.
fascinating. I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
Always very pretty.
I like the non-routine of it. I think that really spices it up to give it some flavor. Is different types of dance and the variety when I go to a show. I mean, I do like the street rage shows, like I mentioned, but they're one type of dance, and you can only go so far with that. And then you're just looking for the one guy that's really good at it. It's like, wow, he's amazing. I'm waiting for him to come around again and his turn to jump in. And then it's like, wow, here he comes again. Whoa, here he comes. So on these team things, what I've seen of the team shows, they resemble a lot of that cheer posture almost, in some of the bigger groups. Like when they get to, 5+, it looks to me as a spectator, like no clue, but I see a lot more of that kind of coordination going on. Is that?
Oh, like the ones you see on TV are more group dances than solos. Absolutely. Yes, a lot of those are going to be your college dance teams and things. And so those
Okay.
are always going to be more of a large group probably, or some of them are extra
they're-
large, I think
they
is what they call
are.
them.
I was like,
They-
I can't even let all those girls on that stage. I'm like, dang.
Yes, no,
I know. I
that's
just
really
watched
impressive.
the
Is it the UCA one or?
No. I was watching the one about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Oh, yes.
The documentary on. Anyway, they got 36 girls. That's a lot of girls to, to be on the field at one time, and everybody's all doing the same thing, and yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
I did watch that last season too. It was
Yeah.
pretty entertaining.
I'm a little late. I was a little late to the game watching it. It's old, but yeah, I watched it. And
I do
really
enjoy
good.
it, and I'm told if the ladies aren't singing and dancing, you're not doing something right. If everyone in your house and all the ladies are singing little humming songs, most likely they're happy. Yeah, it's a pleasant thing, and I think it brings that air to go and visit one and see it, and it brings that real good, strong feel of that same thing, that joy, that happiness, and happy people dance. Do you find that the way?
I think that is spot on. I actually tell, not necessarily my friends or my kids, often, but I have mentioned before, I said, for something that Isla, my twin that does dance, get to share is we understand that no matter what's going on with your day, you can dance it out. It's like a life Band-Aid. No matter what is going on, you can cleanse everything out of your brain, and you feel so good when you're dancing.
Well, my daughter's
and I don't know about, I'm not a
mug.
sports person, so I don't don't know if they can feel that same thing too, like when they're playing basketball.
Sure.
But with dance, you definitely can.
Yeah, no, I don't feel in basketball. I feel competitive. Like
I'm just really
killed
bad at all
out here.
sports, so I don't know.
I'm getting killed out here.
But no, it does make
it's
you
like, I gotta
happy.
win,
Yeah.
But I like whenever my daughter's in an upset mood, or she's a teen, so it's pretty often. But I'll just come silly dance through the living room and do a robot, or do you know what break dancing is? I get my smile. I'll get my smile. I'll force it in there. But it's like, or I'll sing some crazy song and way out of tune or way out of key, and everybody starts smiling, everybody starts laughing. But I could just imagine if I was good at it. Like, well, I was good at this.
You don't have to be good at it to have fun with it, though, right?
I get to play clown for a while, But I do love the idea of having a nice the talent competition right here, and a nice way for the ladies to get out and come and join it. Are they still able to sign up and join you or participate?
We do still have some space in that particular event and also in our nationals. So we've already sent out a schedule, but there is a little bit more room in it. So if they would like to still get entered in it, they can contact me on either by our email or my phone number. For nationals, we've definitely got some more time, and nationals is really fun. Okay. There's a lot of extra things at nationals, like the big showcase at the end, and we do title night, which is a formal night. There's a lot of extra parties and things like that too.
And you sit between Magnolia Bulldogs and the Montgomery Bears, and right across from the Lions, and so you're like right in a good spot to meet a lot of young dancers. What about adults? Where do you procure these from? How do you think they find their way? Do you do an adult club, a dance team, or anything like that?
We have had some adults on our stage. I think it just depends on if their studio offers that for the adults.
Okay.
I think it is starting to become more common because, like you said, it's fun and it's a great workout. And so a lot of people are starting to incorporate more dance classes for the adults. I know some of them will make their way to the recital stage. Some of them don't want to be on a stage. They just want to do it for fun. And that's totally fine too. But we had a group of 80-something-year-old ladies one time doing a tap dance on our stage. And it was so fun. Wow. They were so good. And they'd been doing it for, I think a lot of them had been on that same group for 30 years together. And
oh,
so
that's
super
awesome.
Cool. But we actually have a few
way.
adults. I believe at the Houston event, we've got a couple adults doing solos. Sometimes it's teachers that just want to keep performing, and
sure,
because it's always great to just get on stage, know.
And it's I think it's better than a gym. Take the fence away, or running a circle, on a track. I mean, I get it, both work, but not to take one away from either side, but I think dancing would be a lot more fun. It's good to get in there and have some fun with it. When you came here, does this redirect where your shows are played when you came here? But you've done more shows than you've lived here. Right.
No. So actually we stayed completely with our same schedule. We were actually only close to one of our events when we lived out in Atascocita. We do one at Summer Creek High School, which is in Atascocita, and we still do that one. It's in April. But yeah, we were way out this direction doing our shows before we moved out this way, and
there's a
we
place
just found some land
Conroe.
And went for it.
Well, I'm glad you did, and
Us too.
And I'm glad you're here, and I know things can be a little inconvenient at times, but there's a lot of real pros and cons to being a little removed from the inner city. And I'm all on the other side of the fence. I love being out here. I love the rural side of things. But let me ask you this. There's a place in Conroe. It's called Johnny B. Dalton's. Have you ever been to it?
I haven't been there yet.
It's actually the most fun you can have with your boots on.
Okay.
Yeah, and they do on Tuesdays. They do a like a square swing dance class.
Okay.
And a lot of fun. Fills the house every Tuesday. Or at least they used to. I don't know if they still do. And there was a place called Ego that did salsa classes. So you can go and do salsa classes and just kind of learn a little bit of this and that and pick up stuff. But when you sign up for the actual, and you can meet those coordinators to sign up to their actual class. They're out there just, I don't know if they're showboating or just showing us they know what they're doing. Because they're in those big, cool square dance dresses, and there's garb for this and wardrobe for even the salsa, right? So the coordinator and some of the regular students will be wearing certain types of gowns and dress wear, and you can tell that's a student for sure, or she's the lady. I'm not the lady, I just dance thing. And she's a student. And you come to find out that they're just dedicated to this effect. And do you coordinate the wardrobe, or do they? Are these schools, they all come dressed?
Yes, they will coordinate their own costumes depending on what their choreography calls for. So whoever their choreographer is, sometimes it's their teacher, sometimes they'll hire out, sometimes they'll have that vision already in their head of what they want them to wear. And so they show up, and it's all a surprise to us.
But like the guys you said in Plano, they're that adult group, they're dressed out.
Oh, yeah. They're in their hip-hop attire.
If I think about dancing, I'm putting on the wardrobe. If I'm going to Dalton's and I'm going to go two-stepping, I'm going to dress no matter what. I don't need a teacher for this.
Sure, you're going to feel more the part if you're dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to wear your ballet costume to do the hip-hop, category, because you're not going to feel hip-hop-y, right? and vice versa. So yes, the costume.
I need a hoodie and some sweats.
Exactly. And you're not going to do your point solo in a hoodie and sweats. So
yeah, no.
So they all come with all their costumes set and ready, and that's a whole nother thing the teachers have to organize. Yes.
That's a lot to it.
That was the best day as a dancer, just
getting all their costumes.
Getting your costumes.
Yes.
In. Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids get so excited about that stuff.
The little ones get dressed up.
All of them.
Everybody
Gets excited.
That helps.
I mean, even as a teacher, I couldn't wait to, see the costumes on everybody and see the dance with the costumes on and like, see that full vision come to life.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'm like a 5-year-old telling about his years of experience.
He's like, the 5-year-old's excited. I'm like, no, this 45-year-old's excited too.
Everybody's excited.
Okay, so, well, I am so grateful you came on the show, and I love chatting with a neighbor from Montgomery,
Thank you. I loved being here.
I think you're on the border between the two, which is all good for us. And the 8th National Talent Competition will be held again from May 16th to May 18th. That's a Friday through a Saturday. You can come catch that. You can catch it number 8, nationaltalent.com.
You got it.
All right. Well, folks, we'll be back after this with some more. And thank you, Heather.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Loved being here.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Get ready, Conroe. The 2025 MoCo Fashion Show is bringing glamour, style, and an unforgettable experience to downtown Conroe on May 3rd. Indulge in an exquisite 5-course dinner crafted by the talented Chef B, perfectly paired with Messina Hoff's award-winning wines, celebrating excellence since 1977. Then witness a runway like no other. From elegant evening wear to bold fashion statements, this night will leave you inspired. In the heart of downtown Conroe at Timberline Crossing Event Center, wine, dine, celebrate fashion through a night of elegance and entertainment. Tickets are on sale now. Visit us online and be a part of the magic at the 2025 MoCo Fashion Show. Don't miss it.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. This is Armand out with Haley Dunn and Texas Rage Asylum.
Yeah, we're really excited to hear about this Rage Asylum and all the anger that you can get out. And
Bridget's here in the studio with us today. Owner of Texas Rage Asylum. I want to call it lots of things.
thank you for being here.
Rage Room, Rage Asylum, where I don't know, you tell me. What's going on over there?
Yeah, tell us about what you got going on over there.
Okay, so what it is we rented a huge storage unit and put a tarp up. So there's just one room, and you go in and just smash stuff We provide the PPE, so you'll have a face shield,
Protective.
gloves.
Good
Yeah.
call. Personal
Personal
protective.
protective
Yeah.
equipment.
Make sure you talk in that microphone. They won't be able to hear you. But now I saw some videos online,
Okay.
which I really liked. Right? And I personally think this is a great release. You know, you got to let it out. You know, the Niños need to release their Wiggles. And so this is a great opportunity for them to do that. It's a Nacho Libre line, in case you were curious. But they do, and it is. And, you know, I personally, Call of Duty is my release. You know,
A lot of people say that. Like
I'll
a
wreck
lot of people
shop in
say
there,
that.
breaking
like,
little kids' dreams, you know, crushing their ambitions for the evening, you know, and you can find me on there, you know. But you probably don't want to, you know, I'm really good at it. But so what I saw in the video is, you know, some folks getting, you know, that seems really good for them, really healthy, you know, and letting it out. I mean, we were talking about my Bob Marley printer last week, and we named it Bob Marley because it'd be jamming, and so everybody got a chance to go in the back parking lot and destroy this thing, and we really enjoyed that, and it was really nice to see Gladys from accounting get involved, and it was interesting in the back of a Golden Corral. You know, we took it to lunch with it and said, "Hey guys, guess what? Bob Marley's here at lunch with us." Oh no, and I'm like, "Yeah, we're retiring it." Oh yeah, yeah. Turn frowns upside down. The whole team's happy. Everybody's enjoying themselves. It brought genuine joy on everybody's
destroy
face.
it?
Oh man, like you wouldn't believe.
So what do you use to destroy things? Is it like baseball bats or crowbars, or is it a variety of things?
It's a variety of things.
Okay.
All of that. We have baseball bats, crowbars. We have sledgehammers, regular hammers, with or without the
Nice.
little fork part.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
I
And
mean,
and then what are we destroying? Just anything that you guys can find, or okay.
So we have how I obtain things is through like just the community, and we take donations. Sometimes, you know, if I see something really cool, I'll purchase it like from Goodwill or something. But usually, like when people finish up with garage sales, we'll get. So there's all types of different things. We have totes that you can purchase. You're also welcome to bring your own stuff in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
you don't have to buy anything from us.
When you
There's
say
always-
really cool stuff, you mean stuff that looks good breaking.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Like glass, lamps,
Ooh,
TVs, computer monitors, printers. We so we have 3 tote sizes: a $10 tote, a $20 tote, and a $30 tote that can be an add-on. And then we also have $10 TVs, $10 printers. So basically, you rent the room for $19.98, and that's the year I graduated Willis. So that's the
Nice.
that's the price I went with.
I love
Oh,
that.
Wildcats.
And then so it's $19.98 per person, and then you go into the room, and you know, just you can, like I said, you can bring stuff, or you can purchase off our wall, whatever. And but you kind of determine how much you want to spend, or how much your budget will allow you to spend.
Okay.
You know?
Do you charge for people bringing things into the room? Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, that's
So you
very
just fill the room with your own stuff and just destroy it, or you could take all the fine things you bought from our local communities,
Exactly.
Goodwill and garage sales, and destroy
Can you light anything
it.
on fire?
No.
Okay.
No fire.
fires.
No like powders or liquids or anything like that. But like if you're going through a divorce, you bring all his stuff in, or her stuff in, whatever. You know what I mean? Or,
Okay, so that leads me to the next question: is what is the most interesting or kind of outrageous thing someone has brought in to destroy?
Well, because we have just opened on
Okay.
March 1st, so
Oh,
we
wow,
are
okay.
brand new.
Right.
The coolest thing I've seen recently would be they brought in a TV like the size of this table. And, I mean, they unloaded it. It was for a little girl's birthday group. And, yeah, they brought this big TV, and those girls just went. I mean, they just wailed on it. I think the quietest girl was the loudest in that room. And it's not, like, our room's not just a basic garage-type room. We shut off the lights, and you're in a black light and laser lights. So
Oh,
it's
cool.
more, it's the experience, you know.
Yeah.
And then the music cranked up. I mean, it's a whole... You know, it's kind of like, you know, you're at the club, but you're just smashing. And
But you've seen a lot of emotional responses that vary already.
yes.
Tell me about that. Tell me a little bit about how people react to this experience.
So everyone, everyone's different. And sometimes we have, people who are coming in that just need to release some tension, built up anger or whatever. It's
Lord
not
knows
just
I do.
that, but, you get emotional. Excuse me. And we have a little side. So there's a little side section area where you can sit on the couch and cry if you need to. I have tissues there.
That's so thoughtful.
And you can also look through the side of the tarp and see into the room. So if you're
You can watch the show.
yeah, you can watch.
Are the cameras in there?
There's one camera because we have security type cameras, for our safety and their safety.
But I just want to watch. Is there?
Well, do you get the video when you're done?
No, we
Okay.
haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
I would like to do something like that, but right now it's just
Get everybody sign the release and we can watch it online? Watch
yeah.
the kids go
maybe
crazy.
maybe that's an idea. That's
Watch
an
the
idea.
kids go crazy.
So what
Yeah.
made you want to start? You own this business, correct? Okay.
Yes,
So what
ma'am.
made you want to start doing that? Do you have a lot of built up rage, or?
No, so I'm actually a funeral director,
Okay.
and I have been in the industry and I did turn my phone off, guys. So I am a funeral director. I've been in the industry since 2009, and I see a lot of times, like when someone does lose a loved one, they have no way to vent. Or, the suicide rate in our community right now I think it's getting higher, like with these young kids, or, they just need an outlet. They need a release other than just going to the lake or, hanging out with their friends or
Yeah.
playing video games or whatever.
Because sometimes that equals more of the same. Because it is
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different reasons why
Okay.
I decided to go this route.
Yeah.
So how old have you had so far? What's the oldest guest you've had? Estimate.
The oldest guest would probably be in their 50s.
Okay. And then do you have to be a certain age to come in over a certain age?
No, as long as you have your parents' permission
Oh,
and
okay.
can sign, the waiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, all ages are welcome, absolutely.
So when I arrive, I put on the PPE, I pick up my weapon of destruction, right? And then do we get to pick music?
So with the music, we have a Bluetooth speaker that gets super
So
loud.
I can actually play my own
You
music.
can play your own music, yep.
Oh, that's a
Or
game changer.
you can give
Yeah.
us a list of songs and then we hook you up with that playlist. But
And
yeah,
how
we
long
have
do you get?
it starts at, so we do have we have different timings.
Okay.
So there's one that's just for one person called 5 Minutes Alone, because I love Pantera. So you can do that just real quick, in and out for $10.99. And
What?
then
5 minutes alone, $10.99,
Yeah.
and then I get to go shop through your little store and pick out some stuff, right?
if you wanted to add on anything.
What do you mean add on? Is there something already in there?
There's
For
stuff already
$10.99, I can
in.
break stuff.
There's stuff already in the room, depending on who came before you. So like sometimes, we'll have a little oven or, little toaster ovens, or sometimes there'll be like
Something's in there,
remnants
though.
of a printer or TV that's still, still got a little
So I could literally get
smashing one.
away solo 5 minutes, $10.99, and just break other stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Don't bring a thing and buy a
love
thing.
that.
Okay.
Exactly.
But I can add to that to really embellish my 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever I'm spending in there, and really make it ring with some
Exactly.
breakage. Love it.
But the most common is our 15-minute package,
Okay.
and that's the 1998. You get the room for 15 minutes.
Where in Willis
And
are you?
then we're right outside of town on Highway 75.
Okay.
There's so Boomtown Fireworks is there, like the Willis High School firework place that usually, every year. I think right now it's a church, and then it converts to the firework
place during
place. Yeah, we're down that little road
Okay.
down Cargill.
And what's the phone number to call if they want to book the Texas Rage Room?
So
or the
it's
Rage
Asylum.
Asylum. Sorry, I keep saying that.
It's okay.
It's all right. Maybe I
going to
should
have
have
a
named it
session.
different.
Asylum sounds better, honestly. I think
thought
it
so.
did
It was
good.
a little
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, I like it.
Just
I
a
like
little
Asylum.
crazy.
Room seems real practical.
We went through a lot of different names. My husband picked that one, and the kids agreed to it, so that's the one we stuck with.
I wrote the word, and I can't get it in my head. It's terrible. I even scratched it out. So Texas Rage Asylum in Willis, Texas, and you can see it at texasrageasylum.com. The number is 936-224-0581. And the actual physical is 1730 Cargill Drive. And you can go check the website. And I think everybody should, and then they get an idea of what they're going to do. They can give you a call and ask all the questions that they have about what goes on there and where the limits are and maybe their imagination and how they can express that there with you. I mean, I personally would, if I did plan it, we would get, I can't think 5 minutes after I hung up the phone with you and booked it, that me and my son wouldn't have come up with some crazy way to destroy stuff in there. It wouldn't take long at all. And the further out I booked it, the more dangerous my visit's going to be. I assure you, we'll wreck stuff. I mean, we're gonna release, and I can see a lot of that. Yeah, I mean, do you see a lot of contrast so far from one guest to the next? Like tick tick, and then rah, just.
Yeah, actually. I mean, a lot of people come also like for date nights. I mean, you're spending as much as you'd spend at the movies.
Not even the movie would be 3 times, 5 times what you just described.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure. Or my date and I would $20, $15 a ticket. You get 30. You buy some popcorn and a couple of drinks.
That popcorn, that's like $20 for a small.
You're 50 in. You're 50 in, and you didn't get her to dinner yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then I go to dinner. I spend $100, or you're 150. Gas 20. Or you're almost $200 for a Wednesday night at
The movies.
Yeah, at the movies.
Yeah.
Got a bite to eat because she's hungry.
And it's a
So go
better
figure.
experience. And
It's free.
you
We
get-
can still do anything after that, and I really haven't destroyed my budget. And I mean, unless you wanted to break all the Ming vases you have back there, and,
Yeah.
But you've got some discount stuff. I mean, if you're going to these places and finding some things, or I could bring anything I wanted to. By the way, I guess what I have in the trunk. No. And then here comes all this trunk full of breakables.
Yeah, bring it.
Grandma gave it to me.
That's
Grandma gave it to me. Let's go to work, baby.
That's okay.
You know what I mean?
That's okay.
Bring it on in.
Yeah. I'm going to set everything up. What's he doing? He's in there placing grandma's vases around the room. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, is that how it goes?
Yeah.
I saw
Or
that
we could
suit.
set it up for you.
Your suit looked like a hazmat suit, that PPE. Where'd you get those?
Amazon. I
Amazon?
got everything's off of Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, nowadays you can find anything.
Yeah, I found it on Amazon.
Tell me all the stuff I don't know that's going on down there. What else you do down there?
That
Any schools
basically-
coming? Yeah.
Not yet.
Seen any dance girls in there?
Not yet,
Oh.
but they should. They should come on.
Okay. Well, I think it'd be a great way to spend some young boys' birthdays, young girls. Just the younger the better. I think somewhere around 8 and 12, I think is ideal. Maybe because mine are in that bracket. I think I need to shove them in that room to go break stuff. Give them all a Slurpee while they do it.
Right.
So they can spill
Before
it on
they
the
do
carpet.
it. No, before they do it.
No,
So
that way
super
they can
energized.
spill it. Yeah. Well, it's always about the tragedy that comes with the Slurpee, right? It's like, oh, I'm sorry. They're like, oh, wow. Didn't I tell you not to bring that out of the kitchen? Didn't I tell you not to do that? Didn't I tell you not to bring that in the car? Or don't go in your bed with a Slurpee that's 64 ounces.
That's blue. It's going to stain your bed blue.
Yeah. So this would be a great place for that. Can you bring in food and beverages?
So we
Probably not,
do
'cause you
allow.
get glass in it.
No, I allow. We'll set up a little table. Like
Okay.
if you have a little group coming and they want to set up snacks, and you have a
Not in that room.
cooler, not in the rage room,
yeah,
but
okay.
there's an
Makes
area
sense.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you birthday packages, things like that?
there is. We do have it's $200 for a 2-hour block to use the room, and you get a $30 bucket with that, and then you can bring
What's
your
the $30
own.
bucket?
Just
What's
roughly
in the
about
bucket?
35 different odds and ends, different pieces.
Oh, okay. All right.
Some bottles, different glass or little knickknacks or just fun little things. And our buckets are clear, so you can see what you're purchasing before you get it.
Nice.
Yeah.
We really care.
Yeah.
Some people do.
Some people do.
Just wanna
Some
wreck it.
people go straight for the Christmas decor.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. You have any hated holidays? Bring your Christmas decor.
Well, what do you do with it after the fact? I mean, it's like I felt bad retiring our old Christmas tree. It's like, everybody, my sister's like, you need to get rid of that tree. I'm like, dang, what do you mean? It rotates and it's got lights and stuff already built in. You're like, man, your tree's seen better days.
You could destroy it.
And after they said that, I looked at it, and then I had to wheel it out to the curb one day. I felt terrible. I was like, there's got to be better things to do with this stuff. And all my old ornaments, I think there's a lot of good retirement opportunities there.
Yeah.
For
What
stuff
about
like that.
after something is destroyed and the room is full of things that have been destroyed? Do you recycle the stuff that's been destroyed, or you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We well, for the most part, I have a good friend of mine who comes and he picks up all the metal, and he takes and recycles the metal for me, and then the glass, we just do different things with it, and but yeah. And
Tumble it, sells beach glass.
You know what? I do have a rock tumbler. I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
But that would be cool. That would be cool. But I did want to mention also that we do give discounts to first responders and also veterans, of course.
Okay.
And then because veterans, can benefit from this thing too.
Absolutely.
PTSD.
Yeah.
It kind of helps just kind of reset their minds. Puts them at ease somewhat.
The whole time and place, thing. Cliche.
Yeah.
Oh, there is. It's next week at the Rage Asylum in Willis. It's like, well, okay, wow. You leave that there. Yeah. Well, that's going to be great. Family, big family, little family? You?
What do you mean?
Do you have a lot of kids?
I have 3.
3?
They're grown.
Are they into this?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to open a pet crematory, so they're way more into this than what that would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's still...
Yeah. But also, and I did want to say that we also give discounts to last responders, because with me being a funeral director, I just wanted to throw that out there. We do definitely give, because we don't get discounts anywhere else, so why not at Texas
You say that
Rage
last
Asylum?
responders is only one guy that comes to my mind. Judge Wayne Mack.
The last responders
Judge Wayne
are
Mack
the ones
comes to
who...
mind. He goes out to every single one of those. Mm-hmm. He worked as a janitor in the Willis courthouse down there for years. And now he's the judge. He says he's been cleaning up Montgomery County for a few decades now.
I feel in my heart of hearts that he is the best judge we've had in Willis. I've been there my whole life.
We are blessed to have him.
And yes, we are.
And he does a lot. I mean, anytime this happens, or there's a suicide or a death or anything, he's one of the first on the scene all the time. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And I think that's tough. I think it's tougher than the crematorium. I think it's tougher than I'm real emotional when it comes to that stuff, only because I don't have a lot of experience in it.
Well, let's change the subject.
Yeah, I imagine you get hard into those kind of things, and if not, loss is loss, mourning is mourning, and I think this is a great way to kind of, rather than your apartment wall or any other human on the planet, go let it out in there, get it out of your system. I think it's a good way for release. I think people need these things, and there's ways to do this that are fun and enjoyable. I used to paintball a lot for the same effect, and it's a give and take there on the paintball field. Mm-hmm. It hurts. Mm-hmm. I'd look like I had ringworm when I got home, because every hit had a little ring that it would leave on you. Mm-hmm. So you'd come home and you have these little rings all over your body. You're like, wow.
Battle scars.
Look, Mom, I got ringworm. We played Houston Rookie League for a long time, and there are just certain things that hurt more than others, and certain things that really brought a lot of pain, like hands. They have a lot of nerves in the hand, the neck, inner thigh. There are certain places that far exceed the hit of that 300 feet per second little paintball, which I think a gun goes 2,000 plus feet per second. So if you can maybe imagine how that might affect you, it hurts. It does leave a mark. But when I think about what I would want to do in there is and it just kind of my imagination runs amok. But one of the things that I think is possibly really, what about like spray painting or anything, graffiti? Do you welcome that sort of?
I do.
Yeah.
Actually, since we opened, I have people, after they do their thing, we open the garage door and they just spray the wall, tag the wall up. Mm-hmm. So we've had a lot of we do have cuss words. So if you're bringing a kid and that, they're going to be coming in, if you give me a heads up, like we can cover those. It's not a problem. But yeah, they just basically.
They don't get it on your
whatever's been
PPE
bothering
though. On your stuff you got
Oh.
at Amazon.
If they do, it's okay.
Yeah.
It adds character.
It does. The
That's
yellow
all right.
stuff looks like I'm in a hazmat suit. I want to go like mop up a spill. I think if they were partially like, I mean, if your sleeve came all the way up to here and it's all like, whoa, wow, this is cool. You know, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think it does bring the character. Are you having fun with it? Are you enjoying it?
I am.
Yeah, cool.
I am. I love it. I love meeting all the different people. We've had people come from Splendora all the way to Willis to do it. From Trinity, I had a group coming from Lufkin.
Nice.
I mean, it's pulling in. You know, I feel like everybody could use it.
Yeah. Do you guys have Facebook and Instagram?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Texas
ma'am.
Rage Asylum?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I was online playing Call of Duty the other night. Okay, it was last night. And we were blowing things up, you know, destroying stuff. And I brought up the Rage Asylum, and they were like, where is this place? Where is this place? Everybody was so excited. I think that's a nice genre for you to introduce the Rage Asylum to. They're all excited about it. But I am so grateful for you coming on the show, and I'm so glad you came. And I think there's a lot of ways to take advantage of this place and really tear it up. And I would love to. I think the more I soak in it, the more I think about it, the more crazy ideas that I would think of that I'd want to do in that box, in that room, in that asylum. You know, and I go all day with it. But I don't want to cut short, but there was a few things going on in the community I want to mention before you shake off. And one of them is the Twisted Parrot Luxury Resort and RV Resort. It's out there on Walden Road. It's right before you get to Margaritaville. You seen this place? You know what I'm talking about? Do you?
No.
It's on Walden Road,
I know
like
where Margarita.
right in front, literally in the front of Margaritaville. And it's a really nice upscale luxury RV resort. And they're doing an all-you-can-eat crawfish thing this weekend. So you can go Saturday. Saturday, 2 to 4. You can check them out. It's an Eventbrite event. You can check it out there. Crawfish Boil this weekend. Twisted Parrot, first ever. I'm going to be at that one. You can call them at 936-444-4900. And they're on Walden Road right in front of Margaritaville. It'll be an easy find. What do you got?
Speaking of crawfish, we have the Crawfish Critic Cook-Off, and that is going to be the 16th and 17th of May
That's
at
the Grand Pumas.
This is the event.
That's
right
the one,
here.
yeah.
And this is at the Lone Star Convention and Expo Center off of Airport Road here in Conroe. But they have a Friday night event from 5 to 10, and anybody with a Saturday event ticket is welcome to enjoy the Cajun Comedy Cooking Show at 7 p.m. on Friday.
What?
So make sure that
7 p.m. on Friday.
7 p.m. on Friday, and tickets are also available at the door as well.
That's the 16th, right?
That is the 16th,
May
May
16th.
16th.
Okay.
Yep. And there's also at the Cajun Cooking Comedy Show, there's going to be Stale Cracker, Wade Fishes, and a bunch of other people.
And then this is the Crawfish Critic, Christian Waldo. He's been on the show before, and we spoke of this event way ahead of time, and
Yes.
we're way excited about it. That's how excited we are about that crawfish. So you get it this weekend at the Twisted Parrot Luxury RV Resort in Walden, and you can get it on May 16th and 17th at the fairgrounds, right?
Yes.
That's a
the Lone
fairgrounds.
Star Convention Center.
Lone Star Convention Center. Okay. And then May 6th at Hunger Crush Cafe at Waterpoint Center. They're having a whiskey comparative tasting. Now, this event is almost sold out. There's a few seats left. And then, really, I'm not buttering the bread. Really, I spoke to them right before I walked in today to make sure this event was still good, and as I do. And they're like, oh, everything's been great. We're almost sold out. And I'm like, what do you mean almost sold out? I'm about to go into my radio show to tell them all about your whiskey tasting. It's a 5-course dinner, 8 courses.
Wow.
Yeah, well, their petite courses are a little 2 halves, so it's like 4 plates. And each one will have different 8 whiskeys to taste.
That's dangerous.
This thing is
Dangerous.
$79. That's a steal. Yeah, that is a great deal. You can catch him at hungercrushcafe.com. You can find him on Facebook. Just type in Hunger Crush Cafe. He's a one of a kind, baby. What do you got? What else is going on?
At the Lone Star Convention Center, there's so many things happening. But this weekend, there's the Texas Mineral and Fossil Show, and that actually started today at 10 a.m. But then also Saturday and Sunday, they're going to be there from 10 to 6, and then Sunday from 10 to 4. You can go check out all of the Texas minerals and fossils and all the cool rocks and different things like that. Agates, I'm sure.
My friend Stacy Williams has a booth, and she's Just Dig It.
Just dig it.
Yeah, and she's got a booth, and what a variety of stuff she has. I mean, I've seen all the rocks this lady collects, and it is vast. I'm like, what is that?
what is that? And she's got like rhino horn, just crazy stuff that came from different places and around the world. She's been collecting her whole life, and she's bringing all that out to the Texas Mineral and Fossil Show at the
Lone Star Convention
Lone
Center.
Star Convention Center this weekend.
This weekend, yep. It started today at 10 a.m., but you can catch them Saturday and Sunday as well.
Yeah, you can eat your crawfish and then head over there right afterwards. How
Absolutely.
late is that thing going on?
10 to 6 on Saturday and 10 to 4 on Sunday.
Okay, so you can get your crawfish first over at Twisted Parrot, then head over there and do the whole enchilada.
Absolutely.
I know she told me.
Just dig it. Make sure you check out Stacey's
dig it,
booth.
Stacey Williams. She's got the vast variety of rockages. You know, there's this one pearl she's got. It's like, it's not a pearl. It's a stone. It's just really polished, but it starts off as mud.
Okay.
And it looks like a crystal ball. Like,
Interesting.
it's like, this was mud. Yeah, I just shined it up. This was mud you shined up. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm like, and she's like, you do know that's how rocks are made. I'm like, no, they don't polish mud to make rocks. That's not kind of.
They kind of do.
Yeah. So anyway, you catch all that down at the Lone Star Convention Center, as well as the 8 talent competition. And that is coming up soon. You can catch all them. What's the date on the 8th?
16th, 17th, and 18th of May.
Okay. And we thank her for coming on the show today, and as well as you. Thank you so much for
Bridget,
visiting with us.
thank you for coming.
Bridget. And we look forward to visiting the Rage Asylum, looking at the photos and catching a lot of what y'all do down there. I'm excited. I want to see. Anyway, thank you for coming. Folks, thank you for watching the Texas Ticket Show. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Thank you for watching.